yesterday, guys. Yesterday, what I showed you was how to program the robot using this, but I haven't shown you the advanced blocks yet. And I haven't shown you the simulator yet. But there's some really cool things that you can do with the simulator. And let me show you what we can do here. Okay? So over here, we actually have a simulator of the robot. Okay? This over here is a 3D model of this robot, and we can go ahead and program it. So what we're going to do over here is, right now, we were just using the basic blocks. But I can go over here, and I also have these blocks. So what I can tell the robot to do is move a specific distance, 10 centimeters. If I hit start, the robot moves 10 centimeters. I can go ahead and go to robot, and I can tell it to turn a certain amount of degrees. I'm going to tell it to turn 70 degrees. Now it's going to move 10 and turn 70. Now I can go overhead here, right click, and duplicate this. Right click, duplicate. Okay? So what I'm going to do is, so now I made it move and turn and move and turn. Well, that's kind of interesting, but wouldn't it be interesting if I could see the trail that it leaves? So I'm going to go over here, and under robot, I'm going to select pen down. And I'm going to make sure that I put the pen down before I start moving and turning. So I'm going to go ahead. Well, that's pretty interesting, but I kind of want to see it keep drawing. So I could either keep putting these blocks in, or the computer is pretty smart. So if I just say, instead of saying move 10, turn 70, move 10, turn 70, move 10, turn 70, I can just tell it, why don't you go ahead and repeat? So I'm going to go over here to loop, and I'm going to tell it to repeat a certain amount of times.
100.
Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put this inside, and now what's going to happen is it's going to repeat this code 10 times. I'm going to go ahead and hit start. Okay? So that starts to look fairly interesting. I can go ahead and I can also change these amounts. And what if I want to actually say it's going to go 70 and then it's going to go 60 degrees? And let's go ahead and hit start.
Oh.
Okay? So now it's changing. If I wanted to be drawing on white instead of blue, I can go over here to configure and change this ground image, and I can tell it to draw on white. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit start. So now what I'm doing is I'm drawing this pattern on white, and maybe after I do that, I'm going to right click, hit duplicate, and maybe I want to repeat 5 times, and I'm going to change this a little bit. So I'm going to maybe say 5 and 35 and 8 and 120, just to see what happens. Okay, so it's kind of interesting because what I'm seeing happening is this is changing the pattern completely. Stacy, may you do me a favor and get me a marker and a piece of paper? So the advantage of this is I can see what my program is going to do, but then I can bring it out from the computer and bring it into the real world. Okay? So what I'm going to do next, actually, there should be the folded large piece of paper back there. I see it right there, that big yellow thing. Yeah. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, where's that cord that you gave me, Stacy? You could take it back. Yeah. Okay, so the cool thing is here's my robot. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna plug in my robot. Now, I don't want my program to start right away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my basics and tell it when I press the forward button, it's going to go ahead and do this. So I'm going to go ahead. It's not connected. I understand I have to link it. Can you get me another robot or a different cord? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't plug it in all the way. There we go. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead, hit link. Connect it to the Thymeo 2 and go ahead and hit retry and hit run. So when I press that forward button, that program should be on my robot. Let's see if it works. Might be doing it. I'm going to go ahead and hit stop. I'm going to go ahead, hit run. Okay. So now that I have a pattern that I think I like, I'm going to move over here to the piece of paper. I'm going to go ahead and put my pen in and press the forward button. I'm going to go ahead and save this drawing program.